Seattle leaders say they're facing growing calls to do more as members of the transgender and queer communities relocate here from other states. The Seattle LGBTQ Commission has sent a letter to Mayor Katie Wilson asking her to declare a civil state of emergency. Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman spoke with a trans woman who left Texas and asked her why she believes these resources are so important.
Seattle's LGBTQ community is growing by the thousands as trans and gender nonconforming people are seeking refuge in the city of Seattle. But advocates warn that the organizations helping them find their footing here could run out of resources by the summer. For decades, Capitol Hill has been a cultural and historic hub for Seattle's LGBTQ community. Advocates say they're seeing an increase of people coming here from more conservative states, hoping for a chance to live more openly and freely. For Jessa Davis. Is it safe to say that you sought refuge here in Seattle?
Absolutely. That was the absolute intent.
Jessa moved to Seattle 3 years ago from Odessa, Texas, the place where she transitioned. But it was also the place where she says she no longer felt safe living. Jessa says she stayed in the closet for years, but the emotional toll became too heavy.
I was just like, I don't care, about anything more than, trying to alleviate this just sense of dread.
But she says coming out to herself and others came at a cost.
It was scary. I lost friends, I lost colleagues, and I lived with a daily threat of violence.
Seattle LGBTQ Commission Chair Chris Curia says organizations helping trans and queer people relocate are struggling to keep up with the demand for basic things like housing, food assistance, and mental health support.
It's people coming to our region by the thousands.
I couldn't live my life being afraid of my state government in Texas.
Because of stories like Jess's, the Seattle LGBTQ Commission has asked Mayor Katie Wilson to declare a civil state of emergency.
There are some community organizations rapidly losing resources that could run out by the end of the summer.
Mayor Wilson says she's launching an interdepartmental team to fast-track what the needs are by August.
I am happy with the mayor's response as a starting point.
A rally in support of the transgender community is planned for Saturday at Cal Anderson. The commission hopes it sparks urgency so that funding and resources become available to help people like Jessa, who found safety in Seattle. From Capitol Hill, I'm Alejandra Guzman.
This morning, Seattle LGBTQ advocates are urging Mayor Katie Wilson to declare a civil emergency. They say the city is seeing an influx of transgender people from other states, and that's stretching resources thin. King 5 Savannah Welch joins us live in the studio. And Savannah, so what are advocates asking city leaders to do?
Sharon, dozens gathered at City Hall on Saturday, urging the city to move faster when it comes to funding and services. Advocates say more trans people and families are moving to Seattle seeking safety and support. They say many are leaving states with anti-LGBTQ laws or hostile political climates. And while there's no exact local data, a study from the Movement Advancement Project and the University of Chicago found that since November of 2024, at least 400,000 transgender and gender nonconforming people have moved states. One of them is El Missouri Cree, who moved here from Arkansas in 2024. She says she faced harassment there, but now feels safe enough to openly transition here.
I was being harassed and intimidated to the point of my personal safety was in jeopardy. And I was able to finally fulfill the dream of being able to transition. It's been incredible.
In a letter to the Seattle LGBTQ Commission, Mayor Katie Wilson said she agrees more coordination is needed across the city, adding that she will convene a team alongside the Office of Civil Rights to work directly with the Commission, City Council, city agencies, community organizations, and regional partners as well. She says the team will be formed this summer to take a closer look at community needs and also available services. In the King 5 studio, Savannah Welch, King 5 News.
Now, bear with me. I'm going to be giving you some hard truths in this video. Some very hard truths in this video about this community. Now, first of all, let me start by saying I do not hate anybody in the trans or pride community. I have friends throughout those communities, a few. There's no hate whatsoever, but we need to tell some truths, right? Even talking about them with this person being harassed and the first person facing threats of violence, they are not refugees, okay? You're not escaping actual death, okay? Nobody's trying to unalive you. You would have, they record for less in the streets, okay? So even when they're getting harassed, they usually record it, or people usually record it, right? When something's going on with them so they can post it, right? You're not seeing anybody post getting threatened with death threats because of how they want to live. They're not refugees, okay? They just know if they go to a predominant pride community area, they will feel more comfortable. That's what it is. You don't feel comfortable in the red places that you come from. So you move to Seattle so you can be more comfortable. Here's the truth of why they're moving. It's not even that. This is why they're sitting here talking about a state of emergency for resources. Y'all come here to Seattle from these red places with nothing. You come here with the clothes in your back and a couple bags. You don't come here bringing anything here, no skills, no money, no nothing. So you expect this city of Seattle to pay your way and get you on your feet and help you out. Emergency, immediately. You're coming to another city in another state from where you came from with nothing. And you're expecting the city to help take care of you. Here's the real reason. Like I said, there's going to be some hard truths, right? And somebody said this in a comment already. Not on this video, but in another video I saw. They come here for pride community and trans community. They come here by the thousands like they have been for the resources. I don't know if you know how expensive the anti-AIDS and anti-HIV medication is, but they can go to these organizations that give it to them for free or very cheap. How I know this, me and my wife go get tested regularly, right? Out here in Washington State, we go get tested regularly, right? And me, I have HIV anxiety, right? I don't have HIV, okay? I have anxiety. So the smallest thing pop up or anything looks weird to me, it might not even be a symptom of it, and I think is that we gotta go get tested just in case. Now it's always negative, of course, but that anxiety in me always makes me want to run to the clinic. Now, a doctor literally looked me in my eyes and said, "Hey, I know you don't have it, but you came here for the test. I'm gonna order the test," right? She said, "But look, check this out. Even if you did have it, it's not a death sentence anymore. It's treatable. So even if you did have it, we would send you to an organization or refer you to some organizations that could get you the medication for either free or very cheap." Hold on. So it's expensive normally, but for somehow I can go to one of these organizations and it be paid for, so it can be completely free to me. This is what they coming here for. Not only are they trying to get the city to help with them with housing, food, and all that, because they just give out the EBT cards, the SNAP benefits cards, but also to get free Doxy and PrEP, which are those medications that I was just talking about, because they can get them for free. But in those red places they come from, they got to pay full price unless they got great insurance, which is highly unlikely. They come here for those free resources and those free medications, the anti-AIDS and anti-HIV medication, the Proxy and the Doxy and the PrEP. And this is why. I told my wife this. She didn't even know about this. One of my friends in the trans community told me about this. I didn't even know about this because we were having a conversation about this same thing. Now, there's a website, and they showed me. There's a website where these people are literally, in these communities, are having anonymous sex. Not lying to you. They're having anonymous sex. I'm not lying. So I'm like, hold on. So my wife posed a question. She was like, well, what's the difference between this website and dating apps that they use the same thing for? And I said, okay, well, according to how that website looked, on that website, you literally can just post an eggplant picture and you'll probably have an anonymous sex within the next hour. Anonymous. You don't know these people. These people can sit here and say they negative all day long and they're on doxy and prep. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. They're literally doing this in these communities. They're having anonymous sex. Now, they're grown and consensual adults. Cool. So when we sit there and say, well, why are you worried about it? Why do you care about it? Here's the thing. I don't know if you know, but as of last year, 2025, a year ago, there's approximately 30,000 cities in this country. 30,000 cities in this country. Seattle was in the top 20 for leading the nation in STDs and STIs. Number 16 to be exact as of a year ago. And their community in Seattle has only been growing since then. They were number 16 out of like 30,000 cities leading the nation. Like, look this up. Don't just take my word for it. Look it up. Look up the top 100 cities leading the nation in STDs and STIs and tell me where you find Seattle at. Because as of last year, it was number 16, and there's approximately. And then you look up, well, how many cities are there in this country? Approximately 30,000, and Seattle was number 16 for leading the nation in STDs and STIs. That's why I care, because what's going to happen when you have all the pride community individuals by the thousands flocking to Seattle and say they claim this state of emergency and they do get those funds to try to help these people out and get them the free medication. Guess what? The medications don't stop STDs and STIs. It's only to help prevent AIDS and HIV. So they're still passing around those STDs and STIs. They were number 16, Seattle, number 16, the top 20 out of the top 100, just the top 100, not even 30,000, top 100 cities leading the nation. Number 16 was Seattle. That's why it's an issue, because you wouldn't see that statistic. That's why I say, go look this statistic up yourself. You're going to be disgusted. And then when you look that up yourself, look up the website yourself. I don't remember what it was. I would have to contact them again and ask them what the website was, but I don't even want to see it. So I would have to ask them again. But anyway, look it up. You probably can Google it. And you will see so many of the pride community on there having anonymous sex. And they're doing it because they're all on PrEP and Doxy, thinking that's keeping them safe. And then when you look at the statistics of the STD and STI rates in the nation, they lead the top 20. Number 16, Seattle. So the point is, if thousands of them flock to that city, what do you think that's going to do to the numbers? Going in, because I said that was as of last year. Going into this year, when you get to the end of this year, what do you think that's going to do to those numbers? You guessed it. They're going to skyrocket. This is going to be one of the top 10 soon, leading the nation in STDs and STI cases. That's why. This stuff is happening. Look it up. You ain't got to believe me. Look it up. This is the reason they're moving here. Not only is there a huge population of the pride community and trans community, but they're also trying to get these free resources of free Doxy and free PrEP medication for free anti-AIDS and anti-HIV medication so they could continue to have this anonymous sex and be taken care of in this liberal city. Because the mayor and governors cater to the people while also taxing them and using their tax dollars. Here's one thing I want all these trans individuals and pride individuals that are coming here and flocking here to Seattle. Understand, Seattle has no money for you. They literally just spent millions of taxpayer dollars to build 4 new public toilets. They're not taking care of major issues. It's public toilets. And then people can try to lie and say, well, they're taking care of the homeless issue, right? They just moved some out of here. No, they're prepping for FIFA. They're prepping for the World Cup. That's what they're doing. And they're sending those people to Bremerton, a city where nobody is. Like, it's literally a weak little town. They're sending them there because they're out of the way. They're out of the way. There's like a 45-minute drive or hour drive from Seattle. It's like 45 hours, something like that. I think an hour or whatever. That's why. They sent them across the bridge. Probably put them all on ferries and just sent them to Bremerton. Like, they're not cleaning up nothing. And then they bring 4 new public toilets that open with a QR code, and then 10 minutes later, they open up automatically if you're not already out of there, which can cause that, which I believe is going to cause some lawsuits against the city. City already doesn't have no money, but they're going to start settling out of court soon with a couple people, because a couple of people are going to feel violated when they need more than 10 minutes in the bathroom, and that door opens up automatically after 10 minutes. Look it up. This is the same. Y'all coming to a mayor who sit there and says, hey, all these big businesses can leave if they want, but we're still going to accept a little over $3 million from Amazon to renovate this housing facility. And that housing facility is not for homeless people. Like, come on, man. It's just all BS. For all of you flocking here to Seattle because it's so pride friendly and trans friendly, understand they don't have no money for you. Understand that. That's why they got to try to declare a state of emergency. They have no money for you. But they're going to try to get you all the free anti-AIDS and anti-HIV medication that they can. I'm telling you, that's the reason why these people are coming here, because in those red states they come from, they're not getting it for free. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it and think about Seattle, man. I'm like, it's a terrible place. I'm like, it's just only getting worse, and it's only going to get worse. And keep up with me, because I'm going to keep reporting on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section, though, man. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time, y'all, I'm out.
I feel like I'm good on my own. Don't need nobody beside me.